We fixing to make this town real smoky.
Okay, so we looked at this guy. Was that 6 months ago? Wow. 6 months ago, bro created this lighting test where he took this Heihachi stage and he turned up the visuals, the lighting. And it looks really good, right? He's going to flicker the visuals in a second so you can see what it looked like without all of the lighting. But this looks really cool. I wonder, see, this is what it normally looks like. I wonder if Virtua Fighter 6 will look like this, because Virtua Fighter 6 is going for the really like gritty kind of look, right? And everyone talks about how Tekken 8 slaps all of this visual clutter over heat effects, smoke effects, particles. You know, people say that they would like for the game to look like the other version of it, right? And they don't like it looking like this. That would be cool, but also it is like a little bit dark, right? If you start putting customization in there, if you start putting like Clive in there, like how's that gonna look? Imagine fighting Clive in this environment, right? But it looks cool though, right? This just shows how far they really could push Tekken 8 if they really wanted to, but also with it being a competitive game, they can't, because you get lost in the visuals. It looks amazing, but it doesn't look as good as it can, and that's just because there's only so much you can push the lighting before you ruin the competitive integrity. I think it would be cool though if they had like a mode where you could like trigger like you could turn on like the cinematic mode. You could go into the settings and turn it on. That would be fire. For all the people who don't care about the competition, you know, it's like frames. Like the people who go in and turn on, you know, 160 frame FPS, they turn off motion blur, you know. It should be that same kind of thing. I do wonder how difficult it would be to do that though, like to put this in the game, you know. But the reason why we're talking about this video is from 6 months ago, is because bro made a new video. This one says cinematic graphic test, no lumen. What is lumen? No lumen, you're not welcome. See, like, so this one, this kind of looks how the trailer looked at the PlayStation event when we first seen it. See, they're flipping back and forth between how it normally looks, right? And I mean, it looks cool, but it's just really dark. You know what I think they could have done on this stage to fix the darkness of it? I think they could have had a helicopter in the sky with a spotlight. Like you have the news watching, like the news, and they have like a spotlight. And they shine a spotlight on the players. That would have made this even more incredible, because the players would have been, you know, distinguished from the background. But also you could have had this really good, like, you know, visual effects. I mean, look at the water, look at the background. It looks amazing, right? But they just have to sap the quality on everything in order for the game to look competitively sound. They have to. One request I would like to see from this person is a video like this on all the stages, right? Like we saw the one stage with Heihachi, we saw this stage. I want to see what this type of gameplay looks like on Coliseum, on Yakushima, on the red arena stage, right? On the normal arena stage. The reason why is because, like, of course you could take one of these nighttime stages or a stage that has like fire, and then you could it's easy. Put it like this, right? This is a movie trick. A movie trick is to make things look better in the dark, right? A lot of scary movies take place at night. You know, the Predator films is all at night. You know, you can barely see them. It looks amazing. But soon as those monsters step into the light, that's when it starts to look like Disney CGI, right? So basically my point is that, yes, this looks really good at night, but like if you put this same like lumen, no lumen test or whatever in a daytime stage, how does it look then? How does it stand up then? Because darkness is used to mask a lot of the, you know, imperfections, right? But in a bright, colorful stage like the New York City daytime stage, I don't know if this looks better in the daytime New York stage. I guarantee you it doesn't, because the daytime New York stage looks fire the way it is. Maybe it does. This is another stage as well, right? And this is kind of a dark stage as well. But this stage looks amazing with this visuals. This is why I said I want to see more stages, because we've seen 3 stages that all are pretty similar. They're dark. Orange is really the only color that like stands through, but I want to see like how green stages, how blue stages, multicolored stages, the Azazina Peru stage, the Victor stage, how those stages are impacted by this. And you know what's another conversation to have about this that I think is important is what the developers said about Tekken 8 in general. During the beta, they said that the graphics weren't as good as they wanted it to be, and they wanted to continue pushing the graphics. Now, we already saw that slight leap in graphics going from the beta to the release version, but we haven't seen any more advancements in graphics. If you think about Tekken 7, everyone always talks about how that game got better as time went on. Something that people don't really highlight that much is the visuals, right? When you look at Tekken 7 2015, you can see a difference when you look at 2016, and then also with 2017, and then also with 2018. In my opinion, 2018 is when they really kind of stopped, but even then, that's still like 4 different moments where the graphics got better and better and better. And for Tekken 8, we only seen 1 leap. Now, I'm not saying they need to do more leaps. I'm just wondering if that's something they're planning to do. Is to push the graphics just a little bit more, right? Because, I mean, you're on Unreal Engine 5, you're on the new platforms. I mean, you know, you might as well push it a little bit and get the most out of it, right? I wonder if Virtua Fighter 6 will look like this. I wonder how close the Virtua Fighter 6 like demo showcase they showed us, I wonder how close that will look to the final product, because that's something that people talk about for Tekken as well, is how that first visual looks nothing like the final product. You know, in that first demonstration, there was no heat, right? It was very clean, kind of like this. And of course they did that for like the stylized animation of the trailer, but I just wonder how much of Virtua Fighter, how much of that is Virtua Fighter also doing. But this is really cool though. I love that this guy, you know, pops up with these tests and shows off what the game is truly capable of. But then also I think it's important to understand why the developers don't push it that far, right? It's reasons why. It's not that they're lazy. It's not that they don't know how to do it. Like, it's reasons why they make the game look like this instead of this, you know? And it's simply because, I mean, when you look at these two guys, I want Tekken 4 aesthetic back. It's crazy to me that Harada said he's not interested in doing a classic collection because the older games don't hold up in today's, He thinks that 3D fighting games age terribly, and he's not interested in doing it. But I mean, look at this. This looks amazing. What does he want the older games to look like? If I don't know the exact year that Tekken 4 came out, but bro, if my game from early 2000s looked like this in 2025, I would be proud. I would. How do you say this looks bad? Nah, we're not gonna re-release this. Look at it. It's unwatchable. There's like a thin line of like smoke on the ground, and there's smoke coming from it. Like, that's fire. That's crazy. You can even see that laser right there. That laser up there that's shining. This is how Rebel Hangar should be. It should be a thin layer of smoke on the ground, and it should be smoke coming from the walls. This is just what you don't see with modern Tekken. And this is why I think these ones are, even if it isn't 4K, Unreal Engine 5, it's just better. Because like, you have this like, even this one, you can see like, oh my God, it's crazy, bro. It's crazy. Something that I know was lost with their transition from Tekken Tag Tournament 2 to 7 was their ability to make footprints in the snow. Because even if you saw on that stage, it didn't do it, right? There was no footprints in the snow or in the sand, right? That's something that Tekken 6 and Tekken Tag Tournament 2, their engine specialized in. Every engine, well, not every engine. Nowadays, engines are more dynamic. But back then, engines kind of specialized in one thing. And the Tekken 6 engine is the same as the Tekken Tag Tournament 2 engine. The reason why those two games look so different is because the developers wanted to, they basically scaled it down intentionally. You know how when people play like a Call of Duty, a Battlefield, they turn down the graphics so they can see what's happening? That's the same thing the developers did in Tag 2. 4 players on screen. They wanted to make sure you were able to see who's tagging in and out, and that's why they dubbed down the graphics. It was intentional, right? Tekken 4 and Tekken 6 and Tag 2 have the same engines. And what that engine did was specialize in physics, water physics, dirt on the ground physics. So all of the enhanced physics that you're seeing in this game, this is what this engine, I think it was called the Octane engine. It was something with an O. Optimus, Optimal, something like that, right? But all of these particles, this was groundbreaking. This was revolutionary. This was before Unreal Engine. And Tekken used this to really enhance their game like no other. And the thing about Tekken 7 and Tekken 8 is that they're using a different engine, which is Unreal. And yes, Unreal Engine can still do a lot of these things, but it doesn't specialize in these things. So you have to put in a little bit more effort to get it to that direction where water is staining the clothes, you know, snow footprints is being left in the ground. And the question that I was asking, because I think if they really wanted to, they could do it, right? There's other games that use Unreal Engine and they absolutely cook. But the question is whether or not Tekken wants to do it, right? Whether or not, I think they should, because why not? But the same way that they don't want to make their game super dark like that mod we were just looking at, maybe for whatever reason, they don't want to have footprints in the ground. They don't want to have stains on the clothes. I don't want to just boil it down to them being lazy. Maybe it's something that is making them not want to do it. Because, you know, Tekken Tag Tournament 2 was one of the first Tekkens that I've like owned and played like a lot, right? And the footsteps and stuff on the ground, the way that your clothes would get stained, it's something that immediately stood out. Like if you talk about the other fighting games and what they all do that's different, I played pretty much every Mortal Kombat, every Street Fighter, like the main games, right? And I've never seen something like that. I never seen, you know, Yoshimitsu, he has that purple spit. In Tag 2, that would hit you and your character would get stained purple. I was like, what? You talk about blowing the player's mind. This footprints blew my mind, you know? It sucks to see them step away from that technology, but I get it at the same time. I get it, but I wish they would commit to it once more. I wonder how hard it is to do. I wonder if it's like super difficult to do.
Get ready for the next battle.